Hey there, it's Miss Birds again, and we are continuing our lesson on the color wheel. Now, last week what we did is we put in our primary colors, right? Our yellow, our red, and our blue. And we also put in our secondary colors, right? Our green, our orange, and our violet. Remember, whenever we mix together two primaries, we make the secondary in the center, right? So yellow and red make orange, red and blue make violet, blue and yellow make green. So today what we're gonna do is we are gonna fill out the rest of our color wheel by putting in our tertiary colors, okay? Say it with me, tertiary, right? It kind of has that sh sound to it, but it's spelled like this. So T-E-R-T-I-A-R-Y, that's tertiary. And we get our tertiary colors by combining together a primary color and a secondary color. So if you've set up your color wheel correctly, right, we should have a blank space in between each of our colors. And that is where our tertiary colors are gonna go. So there's three primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. And there's three secondary colors, green, orange, and violet. And there's 6 tertiary colors, okay? And those are gonna be, again, placed in every other color. So just how we did the two colors on the outside, make the color on the inside, is gonna be the same thing for our tertiary colors. So I'm gonna start right here. So whenever we mix together yellow and orange, we get yellow-orange. Okay, so a tertiary color is pretty much just the name of both of the colors combined. Don't make it more difficult because that's all there is to it. So when we're taking together a primary color and a secondary color, we get a tertiary color. And when we're naming those colors, the primary color always comes first. So when we mix together yellow and orange, we get yellow-orange. Pretty simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out the rest of our color wheel by labeling. When we mix together orange and red, remember red is the primary color, so we get red, orange. When we mix together red and violet, red is the primary color, so it's gonna go first, red, violet, right? So all we're doing is mixing together these two colors to get the color on the inside. And when we're naming a tertiary color, the primary name is always gonna come first. So let's try it with blue and violet. You probably guessed it, right? Blue, violet. So BV for blue, violet. And when we mix together blue and green, we get blue, green. And our final one to finish off today, yellow and green make yellow, green. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our color wheel labeled. So now we're going to mix together those colors. Now, usually we could go through and actually mix together orange using our yellow and our red, and then just add a little bit more yellow. But just to make it easier on you guys, for mixing the tertiary colors, I'll let you start by using the secondary color mixed with the primary color. Okay, so for yellow-orange, I want to get my orange, right? You should have mixed it on your own using red and yellow, and if you still want to do that, you can, but it's just a little bit more time consuming, and considering that we have 6 different tertiary colors that we want to get through, I'm just going to use my secondary color to fill out. So I'm going to start with my orange, and I'm just going to move my paper so it's easier for me to color. And remember, when we're doing this, okay, it's the same as when we were mixing the secondary colors. We want to make sure we have a nice even blend, and we should be able to see orange, but it should be more on the yellowier side. So when we finish this little space, okay, there should be a difference or a nice gradual change between the yellow and the orange. So they should all look different. Okay, when we're coloring in our tertiary, it shouldn't look just like orange. It should look like a combination of orange mixed with yellow. Okay, so I'm going through and making sure that I have no white spots left on my paper. And remember, guys, take your time when you're coloring. Okay, so quality is better than quantity, right? So it's better when something looks nicer. We want to make sure that we're coloring inside the lines. And I feel like I have most of my spaces covered. Okay, remember the trick I told you is you can color in one direction and then color in the opposite direction, and it will make sure that you have no white spots going on. Okay, so I have my 2 oranges looking kind of similar, so that means I must have done a good job when I was mixing. So now what I want to do is I want to add some yellow on top, right? Because it's yellow orange, not just orange. So when I mix my yellow on top, remember we're doing a nice even layer of coloring on top of the other. So I don't want there to be any spots where I can see just orange or I can see just yellow. The colors should really blend together nicely to create a nice hue. And remember, hue is another name for color. So I'm going to mix all the way through, making sure that I haven't missed any spaces. And as we start mixing, you should see that the color yellow-orange looks different from yellow, but that it also looks different from orange, right? So we want a nice gradual change as we get from our primary color to our tertiary color to our secondary color. So if you want, you can add a little bit more. And I'm going to add just a little bit more yellow. But again, the most important part is that each one of the colors on the color wheel should look different from the other, right? So my yellow and my yellow-orange should look different. And my yellow-orange should look a little bit brighter than my orange. Now, I feel like my lighting right now is a little dull. So on screen, it looks a little bit darker than it looks on my paper. I can see more of a difference on my paper when I'm just looking at it with my eye. But I feel like at this point, you guys can probably see the change, right? So we can see there's a gradual change between our yellow-orange, and our orange. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna finish up by combining and blending together our primary and our secondary colors to get the area of our tertiary color. So remember, again, whenever we're making a tertiary color, it's just the primary color and the secondary color combined together, right? And we don't want to overcomplicate it. Remember, the formula for naming a tertiary color is very simple. It's just the primary color that you're using added with the secondary color. So yellow and orange makes yellow-orange. Remember, the primary name always comes first because it's primary. Red and orange make red-orange. Red and violet make red-violet, right? The primary always coming first. Blue and violet make blue-violet. Blue and green make blue-green. Green and yellow make yellow-green. So again, if you would like to go through and actually use your secondary colors and mix them with your primaries, that's awesome. If you would like to completely mix together your, let me find my blue. If you want to completely mix together your green first here and then add more yellow, you're also more than welcome to. It is going to take a little bit more time, but if you want to practice your color mixing, that's a really good skill. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more example. And my example is going to be red-orange. So I'm going to start with my orange. And remember, when we're blending our colors, it really doesn't matter what color you start with, right? Because they're going to be blended together pretty evenly. So it doesn't matter whether I started with my orange first or my red. It's up to you, but it should still come out the same. So as long as you're getting a nice even blend and we can tell that it's red-orange, you'll be good. So again, I'm just going to make sure I do a nice even layer, making sure that I color in one direction and then color in the opposite direction. I don't want to leave any white spots on my paper, because remember, if we leave any white spots, then you're going to see that one color and you're not going to see a blend. So nice even layers are going to be the best practice in order for you to get the best blend. Okay, now that I have my orange down, I'm going to go through and add my red. making sure I'm staying in the lines and that I'm doing a nice even layer. Again, if you want a really dark value for your color, you just want to push down on the pencil harder, right? So if you put down a lot of pressure, you'll get a darker value. And if we take pressure off of our pencil, we'll get a lighter value. And that's what we're gonna practice later on this week after we go through and finish our tertiaries. Okay, so remember we want a nice even blend of orange and an even blend of red. Our red-orange should look different from our orange and different from our red. It should look pretty much right in between those two colors, right? So my orange looks different from my red-orange, which looks different from my red. So as long as you see that nice gradual change in color, you are doing fabulous. And that is all there is to it. Okay, so today, what you're going to be doing for your assignment is you are going to be going through and mixing together the rest of your tertiary colors, right? So after you've finished yellow, orange, and red, orange, you can move on to all of the other ones. Remember, when you're done with this assignment and you have the entire wheel filled out, then you're going to go ahead and snap a picture and then attach it to our assignment.